I'm Brent. You're watching Steam Culture. Thanks for joining us. Some of you are going to be very happy today because we're talking about beer. Now, here on Steam Culture, I have some very advanced research methodologies that we use to find our topics. For instance, I type in the word steam, then I pick letters of the alphabet and I put vowels after them. So in other words, I was working on the letter B. I put an A, got nothing. I put an E after the B and got steam beer. And I thought, well, I'm gonna look and see what that is. Turns out that steam beer was created in the mid-1850s during the gold rush out of necessity. Now, the story has it that about that time, there was no beer brewery out there. And lots of people going out, to mine gold and all that, and they were like, man, we need to sell these guys some beer. So the process was a problem because there was no mechanical refrigeration out on the West Coast at that time, and you need refrigeration, I guess, to cool everything down after you brew it. So these crafty folks came up with this process where they would brew the beer and then they would pump it onto the rooftops of buildings in San Francisco. And that cold air coming off the Pacific would blow across the warm unfermented beer and cool it. Pretty neat. Now here's where the name steam beer came from. Apparently, as it was cooling and evaporating, all the heat would release and leave these clouds of what looked like steam. So that's one story as to where the steam beer. The next one was that after the beer was cooled and they were putting it in wooden kegs, they would put in some unfermented beer. And by the time it got to its destination, that beer had produced a lot of CO2 and had pressurized the keg. And when before they opened up the keg, they had to actually vent it, and a lot of that CO2 would come out, and it reminded people of a steam locomotive. So there's two myths as to where the name steam beer came from. But steam beer is literally a thing. In fact, the Anchor Steam Brewing Company out of San Francisco still brews it the same way, using the cool San Francisco air to cool down their unfermented beer. Pretty cool. And we put some links down below so you can see the history about all that. But apparently they've also trademarked the name. So anything else now is called California Common Beer. So, steam beer. Maybe you knew what it was. I didn't, but if you didn't like me, you know now because you watch Steam Culture. So thanks for joining us this week. Go out and Google steam beer. Before you do, make a stop at our place because we got stuff for you each and every week. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next Friday.